Namaste and welcome to Youth TV show Making Nepal Proud Globally, produced by today's Youth Asia. Today we have Mrs. Kuruchi Das Gupta, an innovative painter whose works deny the conventional boundaries of painting. Her art is set to intricate subconscious vision of her while exposing reality. As said, her recently inaugurated exhibition that is being shown in Siddhartha Art Gallery, the Mahabharata, an impression has similar essence and document her response to the epic as a visual artist impelled by her location in terms of history, culture, gender, and exposure to modern art practices rather than visually document it as always expected.
Well, I had been working on the world cinema for about a year before that, in last year, whatever. And I did a lot of international reading, international films I watched, and I was immersed in that. But then after doing that series, what I realized was I needed to locate myself look at myself in my culture and my history. And I was looking for a theme to hold the show together. And what could be better than the Mahabharata, because it is the epic of the region. And it throws up so many questions and makes you aware of so many things. So I thought that was the best choice. All right, this is Shanti Parva. It is a bit unusual to depict the Shanti Parva like this. Because in Shanti Parva what happens is after the war, Bhishma is dying. He is on the bed of arrows and he is passing on his wisdom to Yudhishthira, the king, the new king. But here what I have done is I've symbolically depicted that. This is Bhishma passing on knowledge through the ring of knowledge, because they're like that. And this is Yudhishthira receiving it. And how to, that was mostly about knowledge about how to run a country, how to be right in politics, and how to do everything. And so it's complicated, and you have this design. And because he was receiving it, and he was fresh, and he was not used to it, so I made it a little uneven, so that whatever Yudhishthira was receiving was actually maybe needed to settle down. But this was already formed and being given.
It's a great pleasure for me to be here this afternoon to inaugurate this painting exhibition. The Mahabharata easily stands out as perhaps one of the most wonderful, in my view the most, but I don't like to take these absolutist stands here. I'm sure there are others who might prefer another one, but certainly one of the most outstanding epics that I have read. The first time I read it was one of the abridged editions, when I was a little child, Shantarama Rao. And then came the slightly larger 800-page Kamala Subramaniam's translation. And then eventually the originals, and then came commentaries by people like Krishna Chaitanya and others. So it's a book which is quite incredible in its sweep and in the humanness of the characters, the same characters who rise to level of greatness, each and every one of them, also succumb to human failings. And I think that's one of the greatest beauties of that epic. When Kuruchi first mentioned that she was inspired by this epic in order to attempt an exhibition with a series of paintings, I was very intrigued, because obviously this was something that while it was very interesting, it was also something which I was not very sure of as to how it would come about. But then I saw the brochure that has been brought out, and I realized the abstractions that she has tried to derive from it while using certain themes and motifs to characterize some of the basic underlying struggles that the Mahabharata symbolizes. I think I very much look forward to the exhibition. Kuruchi also has many other talents. She has been working in the world of preservation of Satyajit Ray's films in Calcutta. She's also an accomplished translator. Among the books that she has translated is Shamal Gangopadhyay's Kuberer Bishoy Ashe, which was published by the Sahitya Academy. And then there were other translations of Sunil Gangopadhyay's works that she has to her credit. So this is one of the many talents that, painting is one of the many talents that she has in terms of her interest, but it all comes together in terms of both art, literature, expression, medium, and with something of the spirituality of the epics and their humanness. So thank you very much.
What is in Mahabharata that keeps drawing us to it? Is it the great tale itself, in all its manifold ramifications and its hundreds of counterpoint? Tale to bridge a gap, or bridge a gap to a gap, tale soothing a melancholy mind, or answering a curious soul's interminable thirst for knowledge, or tailored to make good a tricky point? Tale qua moral or political discourse, illustration of able governance, even quizzical interlocution, eschatology laid bare, tale of fish, flesh or fowl, of all realms of the animate and inanimate world, etc., etc., etc.? Or is it the characters, the men and women that engage us in their speech and action as well as in their innermost thoughts, witness to a whole variety of disposition, but none too flat and puny, and along with them their ancestors too, but for whom our knowledge of pied humanity would perhaps go lacking? Or is it the wisdom that flashes out at moments like thousand suns, touching the very depths of our existence? Or is it the realization that life devoid of purusharthas, namely dharma, artha, kama, moksha, is not worth living? Or is it all this combined, bearing out what Mahabharata said of itself? What is in it is to be found elsewhere, but what is not in it is not to be found anywhere else.
The Mahabharata is not just a tale of how a race, if not humanity, is wiped off the face of the earth. It is also the tale of how stupefying chaos may at times progress into unity and peace. That alone, I feel, is enough justification for this series, especially given our location in the here and now of Nepal.